Welcome to the show, everybody. Joseph Robert Camo, the fantasy football counselor, online here with Tanner Pfeiffer. What's going on, Tanner?
Good morning, Joe. Good morning, everybody listening in. How are you?
I'm excited, man. It is Thursday Night Football today, and we are doing the full NFL preview for the week. We're talking winners and losers of every single matchup, breaking down who we think is going to win, talking about those offenses and the defenses, breaking down any type of injuries you should be aware of. It's going to help you also a little bit with your starts and sits, a little bit more against, if you're playing against the spread as well. Everything you need right here, right now, full preview, every single matchup by matchup, okay? Before we get into that, guys, again, I implore you guys to listen to the announcements because I got a giveaway announcement as well here, Tanner. I don't know if you noticed, but there's a giveaway announcement, so you don't want to miss these announcements. So one thing that frustrates me is intros is like, hey, man, well, we don't want to hear intros. I mean, a lot of people do, but some people don't, right? So I'm telling you guys, it's very important because everything I offer here is of value to you guys, and it'll help you guys in one way or another. So I want to tell you that this show is brought to you by DraftKings.com, guys. Head on over to the app. Now, everyone's got a phone. Tanner, do you have a phone?
Right here.
I think everybody at this point's got a phone, right? So download the DraftKings app, use promo code FFLion, create an account. Understand, guys, a minimum $5 deposit is required. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for details on this. But I'm telling you guys, football is back. They are the official daily fantasy sports partner of the NFL. Go enhance that game watching experience. Guys, it's really simple. Just pick your lineup, stay under the salary cap, and see how you stack up against the competition. Feel the NFL action, guys. Immerse yourself. Dive in. I do every week. And again, Tanner, one of the biggest problems is people say, well, Joe, I can't draft anymore, right? Year long.
Right.
Year long. You do your draft, it's over. But you can draft every single week, guys. Very simple. I know Tanner's on there. Download the DraftKings app. Use promo code FFLion. Go do that right now.
Drafting is literally the majority of the fun of fantasy football.
It is. And you get to do that every single week and not worry about injuries, right? Because you could just draft that player. If they get injured that week, you may lose the week in DFS.
That's what's fun about it.
Exactly. So go do that right now. And guys, a couple more things. There is a giveaway. Let's talk about the giveaway, and then we'll dive into this. Pristine auction, guys. I'll leave a link below. I got 5 of these jerseys. Not DK. I've got Aaron Donald, Juju, Buda Baker, and Devontae Smith. He's going to be going off. Yes, signed. I look at Tanner. You want one? Did you not know about that?
I do want one. I didn't know you had the other jerseys either.
Pristine auction. Guys, pristineauction.com. Use promo code SWAGLINE when you sign up. And there's a drop-down box. Just tell them the counselor sent you guys. Once you do that, comment done in the comments, and also DM me on Instagram. One or the other, we'll see it. And we'll cross-reference it. Make sure you guys sign up. Use promo code SWAGLION at Pristine Auction. There's a link here below, and you're entered for the draw tonight, guys. Thursday. Oh. Yeah, it's tonight. So make sure you guys are on that, guys.
Get signed up before tonight. All right.
Yeah, there's going to be more giveaways, so just get signed up. You'll be entered automatically for the other ones. But pristineauction.com. Use promo code SWAGLION. Let me leave it up here, guys. And you're entered. pristineauction.com. SWAGLION. There's also a link below. And again, say the counselor sent you. There's a drop-down box, all right? And lastly here, guys, again, manscaped.com. Guys, use promo code SHOWERLINE. Got to do all the shout-outs. Got to do the plugs. Save yourself 20%. Amazing product, fit, and finish. Go do that right now. Got a box right here. There you go, guys.
Such
a couple minutes. Box, too. Everything's nice. Very slick, guys. Skin safe technology. Save yourself 20%. Amazing products. Manscaped.com. Use promo code SHOWERLINE. Again, guys, everything I offer, guys, from drafting every week excitement to giveaways to, using something that's going to keep you fresh so the girls keep coming. I mean, what else could you ask for, right? So, yeah, manscaped.com, SHOWERLION, SWAGLION at Pristine Auction, and FFLion at DraftKings. I mean, you got to make sure the codes, but they're all links here below on YouTube. All right. Let's go. Match number 1. Great. I don't want to spend too much time on this because a lot of people watch this episode Saturday morning or Sunday morning or Friday night, and this match is over. But we got to talk. Yeah, so we got to talk about Thursday Night Football. Let me go over it, and then Tanner, I'll get your opinion here. I know you haven't said much yet. Get your opinion on who you think is going to win. We're going to dive in why we think they're going to win for every single matchup, the point spreads, the over-unders, everything. So at home, Washington football team, 3.5-point favorite against the Giants. Giants didn't look the greatest in week 1. Saquon Barkley, we're going to talk a little bit about that. I think he might be limited again, which is so stupid, isn't it? Like, let's talk about Saquon right now.
Let's do it.
You've had like a year off, right? You've had like a year off. The injury happened early in 2020. So now we're in 2021. You got the best trainers. You're in the best shape of your life. You're a physically young gifted athlete. And now you're worried about another week to get going. If you don't play your best player, you're going to lose. So I feel, this is my gut, I still think they're going to limit him here in Thursday Night Football week 2. And by doing that, they're going to lose. You're going to lose. You're not playing your best player. And by losing, that puts you at 0-2. And because the reason is they've got a 10-day window to their next game, right? So they're thinking, let's rest Saquon another 10 days. But you've had over a year. Like, it's time to move on, don't you think? Like, let's play him, right?
Yeah, from my understanding, they are going to limit him. I think he was like very limited in practice so far this week. And then from things I've heard from you as well, because I know you have a Giant source, it's looking like he's probably going to be limited. Yeah, and the thing is like, you've got to play him. He's your workhorse. Yeah. You can't trust Daniel Jones to be dropping back 40 plus times a game. So you gotta be handing it off to Saquon Barkley, who's like a generational talent, and he's had over a year to be healthy. You gotta use him.
Yeah, this is it, man. And his career's on the line to get re-signed for a contract and all that stuff. So
that's true.
Again, for fantasy, my starting, I'm just going to run him. I don't care. I'm running him. He's my RB1, and I'm going to do a video on him on social media saying you got to get your shit together. All right. So the matchup, 40 points over under. It's very low. Assuming, Vegas is assuming it's going to be a low scoring game. Again, Washington being the 3.5 point favorite at home. Tyler Heineke's coming in, and whenever you have these like unknown kind of quarterbacks, you've got the uncertainty of like how they're going to do and who they're going to go to, right? So, I mean, there is a ceiling there, but you got to go with the Giants here to win this because you've got Daniel Jones, who's been on the offense for much longer, and you're going against a no-name. I don't know. I'm going to go Giants to cover the spread, but to win, I'm going to go Giants. They got to win. This is a make or break game for them.
See, I go Washington football team. That defense is literally next level. It's not something to take lightly. And I really liked Taylor Heineke so far. Yeah. I liked watching him almost beat Tom Brady, who eventually won the Super Bowl with the Bucs. Yeah. And I still think they should have won that game. So I'm really high on Heineke, and because he has a lot to prove, more than just one game from last year. So I really like what Washington has going. And I'm really excited to watch Heineke play. I think
after that, I'm switching my opinion. I think Washington's going to win, realistically, but I think the Giants have to cover the spread or their name is mush. And again, I'm going to do a video on that, and I'm going to tag everybody, okay?
Yeah, if the Giants can't win. If they can't win this game, they're not going to win the NFC East. That's the way it is, especially with the way Jalen Hurts looked.
All right, so let's move on to the next matchup here. We're going to talk here about the Cleveland Browns and the Texans, okay? Now, the spread I've got here is 12.5 point favorite for the Browns, having a big game last week and just barely losing to the Chiefs. Yeah. They gave up a lot of points. Their secondary did. And understand, they're an 0-1 here, and the Texans are actually 1-0. 47.5 is the over-under. Relatively, it's not super high, but it's high, assuming that this
Did I not say that the Texans had, to me, one of the most underrated off seasons? Yeah. Veteran players. I really like what they're doing in Houston.
It's not sexy, like it's not pretty, it's not young and exciting, but they're getting it done. Like they are this week, right? Against Jacksonville again, but they had to beat Jacksonville though. Jacksonville's still trying to figure out their identity, right?
Yeah, but they thumped Jacksonville.
Yeah,
they scored 37 points. That's a lot in the NFL.
Yeah, and this is the thing here. Odell Beckham is sitting this one. Again, what a useless, overrated individual this person is.
He's still under contract through the 2023 NFL season. What a waste of money.
I wouldn't give him a dime. He was overrated from that when he got that big contract. But here's the thing. Once he got that, it's like, my shit don't stink. I'm Odell Beckham Jr. And it's like he took this foot off the pedal. You lose your passion. He's been injured for the past 4 years in a row. He's done absolutely nothing. And now what's he injured with? Like, what does he even have? Do we even know?
It's just a knee. I think he's injured with a knee injury.
You've had all off season. Like, you've had the entire off season. You've got all the money in the world. You've got the best trainers. You're supposed to be young and healthy, and you can't even play week 2.
He's 29 years old, heading into like age 30. So like Odell Beckham Jr., your time's done. Like,
he's done. Again,
you're not the young gun anymore. You're not the one-handed catch guy from 2016. 5 years ago. Like, you're
And they
done.
still think he's good. People still think he's the best wide receiver in the league. There's still delusional people that believe that. So, oh man, he's washed up. So anyway, who wins this match? I'm going to go Cleveland here.
I go Cleveland as well, but I do expect the Texans to keep it a little bit closer than people think they do.
I think 12.5 is a bit of a stretch. I know they're on the road.
That's a big stretch for me.
Yeah. I think they cover. This is an easy spread for me. I think Texans cover that spread. Don't sleep on Tyrod Taylor. Again, he's not the greatest guy. Like, he's not a guy that's going to lead you deep into the playoffs or bring you back for a game in the fourth quarter.
But he gets it done.
Gets it done. Game by game, he gets it done.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's move on. This is an interesting matchup. Both 1-0 teams, had a good weeks the past, week one. We've got at home the Steelers, 5.5 point favorite, 47 over and under. It's a high scoring game, I think, against the Raiders, who came off an impressive victory. It's going to be interesting, man. I think, let's talk about this. I mean, Big Ben, I think this is it. This is his last year. This is his last hurrah. They couldn't get past the 50-yard line in the first quarter of last week's game. I mean, Bills defense was amazing. They're not playing the Bills defense. A lot of pressure on Najee. It was his rookie game. Jitters are out. A lot of pressure on me for Najee for fantasy. How do you think this one plays out?
I like the Steelers. I think people after this game, after what the Raiders did, they'll be like, "Oh, don't sleep on them. Don't sleep on them. Don't sleep on Carr." I'm not high on Carr. I think Darren Waller's a freaking amazing tight end, but I'm not high on the Raiders overall. And now Marcus Mariota is out indefinitely. I don't know if you saw that this morning or not.
I saw that. Yep.
Yeah. So, and I think they were trying to use him kind of in like a Taysom Hill role.
That was annoying. And that's annoying. When you talk in fantasy, they're doing quarterbacks by committees now. This has got to stop.
Yeah. I mean, they say Derek Carr's their starter, then he's your starter. You got one quarterback. That's how it's always been. That's how it should be. So I'm just not high on Carr. I have the Steelers. I think it's not a bad spread here.
Not at all. I agree. I think Steelers cover the spread and actually win this game. I'm not sold. And the Raiders at home, you cover Darren Waller. That's the entire offense. The receivers aren't getting it done. Josh Jacobs is a little banged up.
Yeah, what, 10 carries last game, Josh Jacobs? He had like two touchdowns, but very touchdown dependent.
He is extremely touchdown dependent.
I had him on my bench.
Yeah, I mean, very touchdown dependent. So, I mean, Steelers defense, they've got a good defense. I think they win this one. All right, let's move on here. Great. The Carolina Panthers and Sam Darnold making a statement last week against his old team. I like Sam Darnold this year and his weapons. Now, I'm not crazy about him. I wouldn't buy his rookie card, nothing like that. I'll tell you, I did buy a couple rookie cards. We're going to talk about that here after this one here. Let's talk about it now. I got to get this out. I actually got a Justin Herbert signed auto on card.
I saw you post it. It looks so good.
Everybody loves that card. It's serial numbered out of 150 PSA 10. I got it for, everyone's asking how much I paid. I got it at an auction for $3,300. It's going for as high as $4,000. It's going for over $4,000. As soon as he starts, I mean, he had a tough matchup last week because as soon as he starts rolling and he has another potential MVP season, I've got him and Jalen Hurts as a potential MVP this season. Jalen Hurts is another card I invested in.
Man, you switched like a light after you saw him.
Well, here's the deal. Let me explain that, because I don't invest in quarterbacks early in the top 10 unless they're proven. So as soon as I saw him in week one, I'm like, okay, yeah, I think he's got something here. I think there's some potential, but going on a guy in fantasy in round 4, on a guy that's not proven, I stayed away. I'd rather get a Russell Wilson. So from a fantasy perspective, I'm still going to be okay. I got Herbert and Wilson as my quarterbacks this year. And my backups are like Tannehill, Matt Ryan, guys like that. So what I'm saying is for fantasy, I stayed away. But for reality, once you see him, I still see did you see him? Pocket presence, elusive, he did look good. Vision downfield. He has all the elements to be great. And Devontae Smith looked good too. They've got the weapons, Ertz, Goddard. They've got some weapons, Miles Sanders running hard. I'm excited. I've never said this before. I'm excited about the Eagles offense this year, and I invested in some cards. So those are my guys, Hurts, Herbert, and I'm all in on these guys at quarterback, period.
I think there's definitely upside with Hurts. From a fantasy side, I don't trust him yet for like a full season.
Yeah.
But if he's on waivers, definitely pick him up.
We'll talk about him in a second. But yeah, when we get to the Eagles game. But I got to talk here again. Panthers at home, 3.5 point favorite. Sorry, underdog at home. 44.5 is the over under. Jameis Winston tearing it up last week. 5 touchdowns. They're running. What do you think of that? I mean, is this going to continue? That's the big question. I'm not sold yet.
I'm not sold yet. Jameis Winston, he's known for literally 30 interceptions a season.
Yes.
Like that's his average. I don't know how many he averages exactly, but it's definitely over like 20 interceptions a season, and that's unacceptable. He did have an amazing game, but that's also the typical Packers choke defense. So I gotta see it again. Panthers are definitely more consistent when it comes to just being coached, and just they have a reputation of being, the Packers just always choke on one side of the ball or the other.
They have a Swiss cheese defense. Looking at who caught the ball a lot, it was Juwan Johnson, tight end, got 2 touchdowns, 3 receptions for 21 yards.
Yeah.
All that hype around Callaway, that one preseason game. He only had 1 reception last week, 14 yards. I'm really, really questioning if Jameis is for real. I think he's going to be tested this week.
It's going to be a test this week because he was covered by, I think Callaway was covered by Alexander last week.
Yeah.
Packers. So no surprise there. Only 1 reception. But I think I like what I saw from Jameis. That's for sure. He looked so good. But if I see that in week 2 against Carolina, I'm like, okay, Jameis, you got it going on here. But I definitely I still see the Saints taking this game.
Me too. Not to mention, you got to note this: Christian McCaffrey does have the hardest matchup versus the Rush. He's not going to have it easy this week, Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, but I expect him to still get the volume, so he has the potential to make it big this week. Yeah. But he is gonna. It's a tough matchup.
It is. I'm going to take the Saints here to win this one. Yeah, but I think Donald's making a statement. I think I like his weapons, but I think the Saints take it.
And you got Marshawn Lattimore. He's hyped up. He just signed a 5-year extension, so he's going to want to prove that he's worth the deal, I think. And even though he's going to be wearing a cast, because I think he's playing through it.
Yeah,
he came out of the locker room with a cast on and then played the rest of the Packers game. So he wants to prove that he is worth that deal. I think it's going to be a good game, but I have the Saints.
All right, let's move on here. I mean, the Colts looking a little rough last week. Their matchup doesn't get easier this week against the Rams. Matt Stafford looking pretty good, 1-0 versus 0-1. We got Colts at home, 3.5-point dog, and I think that's the reason this spread it could be a little worse. The receiving core, I mean, who do they got? Pascal seemed to be the guy, 2 touchdowns last week. The Rams looking like they're running with Darrell Henderson. I'm wondering if Sony Michel is going to be.
I hope so. I really hope they mix in Michelle more. I think this was game 1 is hopefully just like a fluke, as in like letting him get adjusted. But I think Sony Michel has what it takes to make this offense look freaking elite.
I think he's the better of the running backs. He just never had the opportunity in New England. 47.5 is the over-under. I think the winner here is going to be the Rams. I think the Colts are going to put up a fight. Carson Wentz has got to get his shit together. I mean, like I said, this is a make or break year for him as well. Yeah. They got to involve Pittman a little bit more. Pittman was just not a factor last week. Again, tougher matchup defensively.
Come on, you drafted the guy. You got to use him. You got to target him. I still have the Rams, and I have it being more than 3.5.
I think the Rams win this, but I think it's going to be close. I think the Colts could cover the spread. I think their defense keeps them in the game. Carson Wentz, starts lighting it up, does something this week to kind of ignite this offense and get them going. I mean, again, they are at home. They got to make a statement. They definitely don't want to go 0-2. So it's going to be interesting, but they got to protect Wentz. It looked like he was still under pressure last week, which is really weird considering he's got a good O-line.
Yeah, the O-line, is supposed to be like a top 5 in the league. I don't know. Maybe Wentz is just a little spastic. I'm not a big Wentz guy.
I mean, he was the most hit guy last year, like when he was on the
Eagles. Yeah. So he's probably just concerned about that, just scared to get hit. I mean, he did look a lot better. I think, he didn't look bad last week, but like it's the Colts. It's Wentz. So
in regards to the Colts and the Rams, I really feel, I genuinely feel the Colts will keep it tighter than people think, but I think it's going to be an entertaining matchup for sure.
It should be entertaining. I still have the Rams.
Fair enough. I think Rams win it. I think Colts keep it tight. Moving on to the Jets and the Patriots here. 42.5 points is the over-under, assuming it's going to be a low-scoring game. Jets being at home, both 0-1 teams, 2 rookie quarterbacks going at it. This should be a decent game, divisional game, and I think it's going to be tighter. I don't know what justifies a 5.5-point favorite to the away Patriots. I mean, they both 0-1. I really think Zach Wilson's more electric. They got to get Elijah Moore a little more involved. They got to get going here. What are your thoughts on this one? I think the Jets could win this matchup. Again, divisional game, right? It's going to be interesting.
I still have the Patriots. I liked what I saw from Mac Jones for the most part. Yeah, you did get beat by the Dolphins, honestly, but I do see Mac Jones as the better quarterback of the two. Wasn't high. I mean, Wilson kind of picked it up, but he didn't start that game off the best last week. But I like New England's defense more, and I think it's going to be if not the same or a better test for Zach Wilson.
Yeah, I think the Jets had a tougher matchup, I'd say. But, Panthers, it was interesting. Then they lost by 5. And then you've got, New England barely beating the Dolphins. I don't know, man. I think the Jets keep it close. I definitely think they covered the spread. Winning, I think it's a coin toss, literally. I just don't see how, the Patriots are justified to be a 5.5 point favorite. I'd be more like a 3.5, if anything. But, something to watch, a game that I probably won't be tuned into. I may be looking a little bit to see what these rookies are doing, but not a game.
It could be definitely, to me, a lower scoring game, but I still have the Patriots. 5.5 may be a stretch, though.
All right, next matchup will be interesting. Teddy Bridgewater 1-0 versus Trevor Lawrence 0-1. Broncos look good. We had Melvin Gordon, run off for an explosive touchdown last week. Teddy Bridgewater in the groove. Sutton not getting involved as much as we'd like. And then you've got Jacksonville, Chark being the top target getter here. I like Jacksonville to make a statement this week. They're a 6-point underdog being at home, but this is the week, guys. And again, a lot of criticism on Meyer, the coach, right? I don't know what's going on with him. Like, what's the criticism? Is it just he's not running Robinson? He's not doing things right.
I'm not entirely sure. I didn't watch their game last week. There's just always, no matter what, there's always drama behind his name. That's just the way it is. No matter where he's going to coach. Yeah, Urban Meyer, there's always going to be something attached to his name. I think if he uses Robinson, because that secondary for Denver is nothing to mess around with. So you've got to run the ball a little more. I mean, you just got to. You got to take control on the ground in time of possession. But that Denver defense is going to keep it tight for Lawrence. So you got to take pressure off Lawrence, run the ball. You got to use Robinson more.
It's a weird one because it's only week 2 and we still have to feel this out. So I'm still feeling it out. This could be like the Trevor Lawrence come out show, or it could be a Broncos blowout. It's really this is one of those games. It's very topsy-turvy. It could go either way. I'm leaning more towards the Broncos blowout.
I'm leaning more towards a Broncos blowout. Like I said, that defense is really good.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough time for Lawrence. I don't know, man, but Lawrence has got to make a statement. You don't you're the first overall pick. They've made some improvements on this offense. They've got all these new toys. You just don't want to go 0-2. You want to make a statement here. And I think this is a good time to do it at home against the Broncos, who are 1-0. It's going to be interesting.
I don't think Jacksonville fans expected Lawrence to take this team and start 2-0, honestly. So I still have the Broncos. To me, the under 6, that's a good spread. I think it's going to be a Broncos blowout.
Broncos win by more than 6, you're saying?
Yep.
Yeah, I could see that. All right, Chicago Bears here. Now, man, Andy Dalton didn't do too good last week, and you could say it was a tough matchup. You can make excuses, whatever you want.
You can, but you're going to sound like Matt Nagy.
So what is the deal? Have you heard anything in the news saying that Fields is going to start, or is he going to still drag this out painfully?
Dude, he's the stupidest. If stupidest is even a word, the most stupid. I don't know. Ironic there, but he's just not a good coach. If he wants to win and wants the most points possible for his team, he's got to start Justin Fields.
You gotta run this guy, man. You gotta let him just go. And if he loses, so be it. You're losing anyway with Dalton. Dalton didn't even throw a passing touchdown last week.
I don't believe so. He did have an interception though.
He did. Yeah, he did throw an interception. Somebody caught the ball. Just on the other team. This is embarrassing. And they're a 2.5 point favorite, believe it or not, against a 1-0 Burrow team and the Bengals. I mean, I'm pretty shocked.
I like Bengals.
I like them to cover this. I like them to win this. I mean, here's the deal. This is a game I will be watching. I'm actually excited for this game because I'm ready for the booze. I want Nagy to get egged.
Yeah. Oh, totally. And I can almost guarantee he's starting Andy Dalton.
I don't encourage this. I don't encourage any type of bad behavior at the stadium, but Nagy needs to hear it in the crowd. Let's put it that way.
There's no common sense there. If I were you, man, I'd pick up a Joe Burrow rookie card if you don't already have it. I love Joe Burrow. He's a gamer, man.
Yeah, that's another guy. Like when you're talking upside, I looked at all the quarterbacks, right? Trevor Lawrence is one of those upside guys. Hurts, Herbert, and Burrow is the next guy on my radar. Because again, Wentz, it's like, yeah, Zach Wilson, his cards aren't out. Teddy Bridgewater, what are you going to do? Winston, Big Ben, Matt Ryan, Tannehill, all those guys, Daniel Jones, nothing. There's nothing there. When you look at upside, Joe Burrow is that upside kind of guy.
I loved what he was doing as a rookie before his ACL tear last year. But, I love Joe Burrow. I wasn't big on him because he's from LSU. Like I love his attitude towards playing, and I love the weapons he's got on offense. He's going to keep games tight, and he does that by himself.
So my prediction, I hope they win. I hope Chase has a big game with Burrow. There's a 45.5 over under. It's going to be a relatively high scoring game. Bengals on the road. They're a 2.5-point dog. I like the Bengals to win this, and I want Nagy to get booed. That's
Bengals. I'm going Bengals.
Me too. Let's do it. Bengals going to be 2-0. And the Bears going to be 0-2. And then Nagy's got to pull his head out of his ass.
Yep.
This is a good one. Like this one. 1-0 versus 1-0. We got the NFC West versus the NFC East Eagles at home, and they're the dog. I'm putting my money where my mouth is, and I'm putting it on the Eagles, and I'm all in on Jalen Hurts. I'll be watching this game. I've got his cards. I'm excited about Jalen Hurts, man. And actually, I'm going to put this right now on my story mode here. YouTube, bear with me. Podcast, bear with me. I'm going to go on story mode right now and tell people I'm recording. Right, one sec here.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, I'm with Tanner Pfeiffer here, and we are recording a podcast show. I'm actually on YouTube right now recording, so this is going to be on the podcast. But I'm excited about Jalen Hurts. I'm all in, and we're breaking down matchups today. The episode should be available soon. Jalen Hurts at home, 3-point underdog to the 49ers. 49.5 is the over-under, so I'm assuming it's going to be a high-scoring game, right, Tanner? It's going to be a high-scoring game, we're thinking.
High-scoring game, yes.
Yeah, high-scoring. 49.5 points is the over-under. And again, the Eagles, 3-point dog at home. I'm all in on Jalen Hurts. I've got his cards. I'm invested in his cards. I'm excited about this game. Jimmy Garoppolo, 1-0. Jalen Hurts, 1-0. Game time, 1 o'clock. We're breaking down the matchup. Swipe up, subscribe. So, yeah, I got to tell people to subscribe. I want to promote this show a little bit more because I think people need to be listening to the matchups. Even if you don't play against the spread, if you're doing starts and sits, you got to be into it. So as I'm doing this, can you, I'm uploading my channel so people can swipe up. Can you tell people what you think of this matchup? Who do you got?
Yeah, everybody. I really liked what I saw from Jalen Hurts week 1. He surprised me. I think he surprised a lot of people. He looked poised in the pocket. He sensed the pressure a lot better than he did last year. But you got to talk about San Francisco and their defense. That's the thing is their depth. They have depth at all their positions because they expect injuries at this point. But I really liked what I saw from Garoppolo. I really liked what I saw from Trey Lance. Their offense was explosive, which is something that they don't usually do. So I'm big on the 49ers. I think that this week is going to be a test for Jalen Hurts.
It will be, but the way that he handled, I know it was the Falcons, but the way that he handled that show, that match, I can't multitask. This is never multitask. I got the text out now. The way that he handled that defense, I mean, he just, pocket presence was crazy. Vision downfield was phenomenal. Accuracy in passing. I mean, moving on his feet. He just looked really good. Like, have you ever seen Matrix? Remember Matrix as you see like the bullets kind of fly by?
Yeah.
That was Jalen Hurts. Like the defense could not get to him. Like he's like, oh, okay, yep, come in here. Oh, no problem. Get off me. Like it was just like it was easy. Like made it look easy.
Yes, but it's the Falcons. This is going to be
there's still an NFL team. I know, but there's still an NFL team. These guys are still skilled players. We'll see. Let's let this week talk. If this week my cards are going to explode or they're going to bust and I'm going to cry.
I'm not saying Jalen Hurts is going to bust, but I'm just saying it's going to be a test for him. This pass rush is different for sure. Yeah. Well, I really like the 49ers in this game.
Key injuries, Mostert out for the season. Fire up Elijah Mitchell.
Big deal. Yeah.
Sermon coming back. Do you know if Sermon's coming back? I don't know why.
I would assume. I mean, come on. They've got to have something going. God.
Man, they got everyone's banged up.
literally hurt like before halftime last week. Was that it?
He's injury prone, man. And did you hear what I was hearing in the news is that his wife was getting DMs or like he's getting social media saying that he should die and stuff like that. People are wishing death on him because he gets hurt all the time, which is terrible. I mean, it's crazy that he gets hurt. And I'm all about like, if you're on my fantasy team and you got hurt, like I'm pissed. But to wish this guy death because he's hurt all the time, I mean, it's kind of terrible. I mean, he's already kind of punished already, isn't he?
Yeah, you're punished by suffering a season loss, season-ending knee injury. You know, he's having surgery to repair it. I mean, this guy lives, breathes, and works football for, you know, every week of his life. Obviously, this is his career, so you don't want to. I mean, it's just not something. It's not humane to even wish that upon someone.
So who do you got? I got the Eagles winning this game.
I've got the 49ers.
I'm a little biased. They're a 3-point dog. I got them winning outright.
I've got the 49ers by at least a touchdown.
You got to understand, the Eagles are pretty rowdy fans, Philly fans, and they've got a quarterback, and the jersey sales on Hurts are crazy.
Didn't they skyrocket to like number 1?
Yeah, I think they're number 2. I don't even know who number 1 is. I would assume it's Mahomes. Like I would guess it's probably Mahomes. I don't even know, but I know he's number 2 in jersey sales right now. So, yeah, that's pretty wild. So he's going to come home to a crowd with all this hype. It's got to happen. Like he's got to keep the momentum going. So I'm all in on Eagles. Let's move on. Another divisional game here. 0-1 Bills against the 1-0 Dolphins. Like that's a weird thing to say.
It is.
And here's the thing. If this was actually accurate, you know, according to week 1, theoretically, the Dolphins should be the favorite at home, but they're not. They're a 3.5-point dog against Josh Allen, who had a rough week 1 against the Steelers. You know, I'm all over the Bills here. This should be a easy blowout. They're going to really give Tua a hard time. What do you think?
Look for Josh Allen and the Bills to get in sync and get ready for this week. The Dolphins are not a high-scoring offense. Their defense is nothing to mess around with. But I mean, the Bills, Josh Allen, Diggs, you got the weapons there. Josh Allen's gonna be all over that defense, I think.
Absolutely, man. It's I'm all in on I'm all in on the Bills here. 47.5 is the over/under. Coming on the road. I don't care if they're on the road. They're still going to do well. Let's move on. This is a matchup that could be a blowout unless Matt Ryan pulls his head out of his ass. And I think the secondary of the Bucs might give up some points. Matt Ryan could put up some points here. 12.5-point underdog on the road. 52 points is the over/under. I see that being an over easily. And the 12.5-point favorite Buccaneers. 1-0 Bucs at home versus the 0-1 abysmal, terrible Falcons. How does this one play out?
I have Bucs all the way.
Blowout? I mean, like probably like. I mean, we don't know. I mean, Falcons could come out and keep this close.
Okay. So here's from a fantasy perspective. You want Matt Ryan to be passing the ball because you get more targets for Kyle Pitts, Calvin Ridley. So that'd be good for them. That's what you want. And I think realistically, it's going to be they're coming back from behind from at least 2 touchdowns. So they're trying to throw the ball more, get their weapons involved. I think the Buccaneers defense is pretty good, pretty solid. Their secondary isn't the best, but they're going to be good.
It's going to be an interesting matchup to see if Matt Ryan can pull his head out of his ass. Like Buccaneers are winning this game. Unless there's some sort of like weird series of events, something catastrophic happens. The Bucs are going to win this game. The Falcons, I still don't know what to think of these guys. They've got great talent with Pitts. They've got Matt Ryan, who had the worst game of his life, so he's ready to bounce back. Yeah. Calvin Ridley. They don't have a running game. You're muted, I think, Tanner. There, you're muted yourself.
I am. The garage door's open.
Oh, garage door. Perfect. No worries. We'll keep the B-roll in here. Keep it organic. All right, let's move on here. Arizona. 1-0 versus the Vikings, 0-1. Vikings looked terrible last week. And cough, Dalvin Cook coughed up the game against the Bengals in overtime. Fantasy, Dalvin Cook's still going to eat. Arizona, are they going to consistently look that good? This is going to be a good one. 4.5-point favorite at home. I think the Vikings keep it close. They've got the weapons. They've got Jefferson.
Vikings keep it close, man.
Yes. Don't sleep. Don't let week 1 throw you off. Vikings are going to keep this close and possibly even win this game. I'm not sold on Arizona being the superstar team yet.
I'm not either. I really, Kyler Murray did impress me. His connection with Hopkins is obviously really good. But I just don't have him as like a Super Bowl caliber team, leading quarterback right now. Kirk Cousins is always going to be a pest, no matter, he's just a pest. You go against him, he's going to keep it close. He's got Thielen, who had 2 touchdowns. Jefferson, I expect them to have him more involved. So I don't think the Vikings are going to just lay over and quit on this one. I think it could be a very close game.
It'll be close. That's my prediction. I think Vikings outright win, upset. I don't even want to call it an upset, but they're gonna beat. I get
what you mean.
Yeah, let's move on here. This is a game I'll be watching because I've got Justin Herbert stock. I'm going here with the Chargers winning this game and not destroying, but they should be able to beat the Cowboys 1-0, and then the Cowboys 0-1, and
they should be able to beat the Cowboys. And they just had an injury to Marcus Lawrence, so he's out indefinitely. Some of the pass rush is gonna not be as good. Herbert hopefully gets back on track. He went against a tougher defense last week.
And he still did okay. Like, he wasn't terrible.
Yeah. First game jitters, I think, as a rookie or a sophomore. So I think the Cowboys, they didn't really improve their defense too much. I still think they're not going to be that great. I have the Chargers here by at least, I'm going to bold prediction 2 touchdown lead.
Yeah, it's going to be, I think it'd be closer than people think. Chargers by 5 or 6 points. 55 points is the over-under. Look, it's going to be a shootout. I can't wait to watch this. This is going to be an electrifying game, I think. With Dak,
I said 2 touchdowns. Let's go 2 possession.
Okay. All right. Let's move on here. At home, Seahawks, 5.5 point favorite against the I mean, they looked bad. The Tennessee Titans.
They did, man.
I don't get it.
Derrick Henry did nothing. That's why, the only reason I don't like Derrick Henry is because you're like, oh, he's the best running back in the league. But yeah, fantasy standpoint, he does great most of the time, but it's only because he rushes 30 times a game. Most of the time, though, most of his carries, he goes for 2 freaking yards, and then he'll rip off a good 50-yard run to boost his stats. But they just did not look good. Julio wasn't involved. They just nothing. I've said it before. I said it before the season started. Titans are not a contender.
No, not at all. Not I don't know.
They're a wild card team at best.
Yeah, I mean, they've got all these weapons. They're just not doing anything with them. Seattle shoved their way with them this week, and they're at home. So
and Wilson looked good.
Wilson looks good. He's solid. He's looking in the best shape of his life. He doesn't look like he's aged at all. He's been in the league since 2012, and he still looks like a star. So
yeah.
I'm excited. I mean, he's just doing it, man. I don't know what they're taking. These guys, the vitamins, him and Brady, they're just, ageless wonders. Let's move on here. This is going to be the 8 o'clock game on Sunday nighter. Baltimore, 3.5 point dog at home against the KC Chiefs. Lamar versus Pat. When they designed this game, they were expecting big things. I still think it's going to be an exciting game. I just don't think Lamar's got the weapons that he needs. Hollywood Brown, he's not really the wide receiver that I think he should be, as good as he should be. No. And they've got no running back. I don't even know what's going on here. They just signed Devontae Freeman, did they not? I think it was just great.
So he's been signed to their practice squad, but they basically just elevated him this morning to their active roster.
That's not exciting to me. Again,
Freeman sucks.
It's all Lamar.
Yeah,
it's all Lamar.
It's a committee at running back right now for the Ravens. It's a Lamar show. That's how it's always going to be in Baltimore. That's how that offense is. I have the Chiefs big time here. I don't see it being too close.
Yeah, I think the Chiefs should blow them out. Monday nighter. Now, again, I wish this was a little more exciting, but divisional game. Your Packers 11-point favorite against the Lions. This is a little insane considering how they played week 1. 11 points. I know Lambeau Field, Aaron Rodgers bounce back game, but 11 points against the Lions. This is crazy. This is ludicrous. I'm all over the Lions covering the 11-point spread here.
Well, they actually put up decent. Didn't they put up 31 points last week?
Yeah,
so it's not that their offense is bad. It's not. Goff is a game-managing quarterback. You can trust Goff to move a ball, honestly. He's not Matthew Stafford, but he's Jared Goff. He's taken a team to a Super Bowl before. Obviously, I'm going to try to be unbiased here, and I'm hoping for a huge bounce-back game for the Packers. Obviously, they have the talent there. But their defense has to get much better. Their defensive coordinator, Joe Barry, I don't understand why we hire such awful defensive coordinators, but we do. So hopefully he steps it up play calling the defense. And Aaron Rodgers hopefully has better synergy and connection with his players.
Yes.
So 11 points is big, especially for the way they performed last week. That's a very big spread.
It's a very big spread, especially for the way I look at it. It's a divisional game, right? It's a divisional game. So whenever I look at a divisional game, I look at like these guys play each other tough. They're not just going to let people, walk all over them, right? Like, again, it'd be interesting to see how this plays out, but I'm
feasted. He feasted on the Lions last year. And so did Devontae. They both, I mean, their connection last year against the Lions and the NFC North was amazing. But after last week, I'm not going to be surprised if the Lions win this game. I'm just over it. I'm not going to be surprised.
Yeah, I'm not surprised either. So that wraps it up. Tanner, man, make sure you guys follow Tanner below.
Yes,
week 2 is here, but I think everything fizzles out this week. We're going to start seeing who's who and what's going on with everybody.
Week 1 was weird. Okay, it was really weird for fantasy standpoint.
Always weird from fantasy and reality. A little weird. So
it was. I think hitters and everything.
We'll find out who's who this week, guys. So make sure you guys do subscribe, thumbs up, follow Tanner below. And again, pristine auction, guys. Use promo code SWAGLION to be entered and DM me the word done.
Jersey.
There's tons of jerseys, tons of giveaways. All right, guys, subscribe. We're out. Week 2 is here. NFL. Thumbs up.
Woo! Thanks, y'all.
We'll talk soon.